This is the story of how my mother-in-law's pride cost me everything, and how I made sure she'd never forget it. When I married Michael, his mother never liked me. She said I stole her son, and that I wasn't from a good enough family. But I tried. God knows I tried. When I got pregnant, I thought it would bring us closer. I imagined her holding her grandchild, maybe even smiling at me for once. But instead, she made everything harder, criticizing how I dressed, how I cooked, and how I planned to raise the baby. Michael always said, "Just ignore her, Linda. That's how she is." But deep down, I knew her pride would one day destroy something precious. Our son, Daniel, was barely 6 months old when it happened. That morning, I had a job interview, something that could finally help us financially. I begged my mother-in-law to watch Daniel for just a few hours. She frowned but said, "Fine. I raised 3 children. I think I can handle 1 baby." I left home uneasy. My gut told me not to, but I had no choice. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Her voice was shaking. "Linda, he's not breathing." I thought he was just sleeping. When I got to the hospital, the nurse just looked at me with pity. Daniel was gone. They said he'd choked on milk and hadn't been burped or monitored properly. My mother-in-law stood there, trembling. "It was an accident," she said. But when I saw the half-drunk glass of wine on the table beside her, my heart shattered. She'd been drinking while watching my son. For months, I couldn't speak, couldn't eat, couldn't even look at her. Michael begged me to forgive his mother. She's old. She didn't mean it. But I couldn't, because she never apologized. Not once. Instead, she said, "If you hadn't forced that interview, your baby would still be alive." That sentence became the fire that fueled me. I left their house that night with nothing but Daniel's photo in my hand and a promise in my heart. I would make her feel what I felt. 3 years later, life had changed. Michael and I divorced. He couldn't stand the silence between us. But I found my strength again. I started a small catering business. Slowly, I built myself back up from the ashes. Then one day, I got a call. It was her, my mother-in-law. Her voice was weak. "Linda, please, I need your help. I'm sick. No one's taking care of me." For a moment, I almost felt pity. Almost. I went to see her. The same woman who once stood tall now lay frail and forgotten. She said, "You're the only one who can help me. I have no one else." I looked at her and whispered, "You had me once, but you let me break." Then I stood up, walked to the door, and left her house exactly the way she left my child, helpless. The next day, I sent her a box. Inside was Daniel's photo and a note that said, "You taught me that some mistakes can't be undone." Weeks later, I heard she'd been admitted to a hospital. She called for me again, but I never went. I didn't need to. I'd already said everything I needed to with that one box. Some people say I should have forgiven her. But how do you forgive someone who never says, "I'm sorry"? Sometimes, revenge isn't about hurting someone. It's about showing them the cost of their actions. And maybe, just maybe, in her lonely nights, she finally understood what she took from me. What do you think? Was I too cruel, or just human? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our stories.